Blizzard is going to be testing Midnight soon. You can get into that testing phase and see what that's all about. A couple other things going live, and then I'm going to talk today about how the new Voidstorm zone is going to change the game forever. A lot of dynamic things happening with this zone that I think a lot of people have missed that I really wanted to get into. So let's talk about it. But before we do, a quick news run around. Blizzard is launching a midnight pre-launch event on the 20th. If you haven't been part of one of these before, they're pretty fun. But you go in, try to break the game. Blizzard launches some crazy shit at you at times. It's going to be tested for 1 hour on Beta Realms on February 20th. This will begin at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. You can get in. Anybody can get into this. Download the testing servers. Go in and try this thing out. And you can, explore a little bit of Midnight for an hour and see what that's all about. Besides that, we also got 3 mounts that will no longer be available at the percentages that they currently drop at once Midnight goes live. So you might want to chase these mounts down. These mounts will drop to a 1% drop rate once Midnight goes live. So you only got 1 more week to get these things at their current drop rate. These are all the mythic drop rate mounts. So we got Nerubar Palace's mount, the Reigns of the Ascendant. This is what this one looks like right here. We also have the Liberation of Undermine route that drops off of Chrome King Gallywix, the keys to the Big G. And then finally, you got the Mana Forged Omega Demancius Mythic Raid mount, which is the Unbound Star Eater. Honestly, one of the coolest mounts I think Blizzard put in this game in a long time. So people have been running these things, trying to get them. Right now, Mythic is a bit easier to get with the dynamic changes to classes and everything going on in the game. So you might want to run these one more time at least. Right, you got 2 more shots at this if you run it today to get this before Midnight actually goes live. Actually, technically 3 shots, because I think early release doesn't count as the release that's going to stop these from being at 1%. So there you go. Also, Blizzard is giving away some Discord orbs. That's right. Well, I should say Discord's giving them away. If you go into if you open your Discord and actually go into the quest tab, so you click your direct messages and click quests right here, you can actually see a one that's available for watching the World of Warcraft thing. I think I already watched this one. So I already did this one. So I can't see it anymore, but it'll show up right here. You click start the video quest and you get yourself 700 Discord orbs. What those do is give you some currency to customize your Discord profile. 700 orbs really isn't a lot, but once you've got it, you can watch a couple more things, get a couple more orbs, and be able to customize your Discord profile a little bit more. This is a nice little thing. If you already watched the cinematic, just let it run in the background, and you can get yourself free orbs from Discord for participating in a little WoW cinematic. Also, befriending the Haranir. Don't forget, guys, once Midnight goes live, you won't be able to make Haranir right away. You'll have to go through the opening campaign of Midnight before you can actually make one of these boys. So if you're excited to make a Haranir, make sure you get in early, run through all the quests that have to do, the main quest line, that is, the storyline that'll take you through all the Midnight zones to start off the expansion, and you'll finally be able to make yourself a little Haranir boy. Liandrin got a new cinematic. That's right, a new animated short. This thing's about 5 minutes long, and it goes through Lady Liandrin, some of her past, her devotion to the Holy Light, some really cool stuff about the Sunwell. I haven't watched this just yet. I'm going to watch this today on stream with you guys. But from what I've read about it from this article, it does look pretty cool. It looks like it gives some really cool lore drops in terms of what's happening and what's going to be going on in the future. Yeah, react time. Yeah, we'll check this thing out in a little bit here and see what it's all about. I'm excited to get some more War Within, or I should say Midnight lore, before we actually get into the expansion. So this should be a good one. Okay, the important thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, the Voidstorm. Right? This is the final zone that we'll be going to in Midnight as supposedly Xalatet's seat of power. Blizzard released a little article about this thing, and I really think this zone is going to be more dynamic than people think. I don't think people are giving this zone enough credit yet for how it might change the game forever. So going forward, we already know this zone is going to give you some new quest lines with the Void Elves, right? It's where Xalatet and her all-powerful Dominar live. It's kind of her seat of command, where she's commanding out the Void armies and trying to, reach us, destroy Azeroth, or destroy other planets, whatever she's up to. That cinematic where we saw her assembling the pillars and everything, that happened in this zone. So this zone is specifically important to Xalatet, and probably will be taking the fight to her at some point in this zone. As I said before, this zone lays out kind of different areas for Xalatet's army and command centers. Tons of cool looking aesthetics to this zone as well. Look at all the particle effects. There's a lot of stuff going on in this zone aesthetically that's a bit different than anything we've seen. It does remind me of Netherstorm, obviously, but this looks like a more high-res version of Netherstorm. for sure. Netherstorm still left a mark on me. Honestly, one of my favorite zones from a long time ago. I still remember the skybox in that zone, meeting the ethereals for the first time. Some really cool vibes out of that looks like this is playing off of. But besides just the zone aesthetic itself, the zone's bringing 2 new dungeons, right? We got the Nexus Point Xenex, and then the Voidscar Arena. The Voidscar Arena looks like it reminds me of, God, what was that dungeon in Dalaran? Guys, if you remember, I forgot what the hell it was, man. That was where you'd sit still and then guys would come at you, right? And not come on you or anything. You get what I'm saying. It was a arena where you sat and the dungeon came to you rather than you going to the dungeon. So that looks like that's what this is going to be. But that isn't really what I'm talking about when I say why this zone is going to change WoW forever. First of all, it's a PvP zone, and it's a pretty big deal because this really is Blizzard's, I feel like, their first real attempt at bringing world PvP back to the game since Wintergrass, which I have very fond memories of. I love, Violet Hold was the dungeon I was thinking of. Wintergrass, I was a big fan of. I enjoyed it. I've always been a world PvP enjoyer. I just think it brings life to the game. It's the funnest version of PvP to me. The least competitive, yes, but just the most, I don't know, high fantasy, right? Big armies going at it. It's always been something fun to me. So this thing is bringing a battleground and open world PvP. So Slayer's Rise Battleground is a 40v40 epic battleground inspired by large-scale battles that can be found in Altric Valley and the Isle of Conquest battlegrounds. So we're bringing back 40v40 PvP for one. But the more exciting thing to me is this, taking your PvP outside. Yeah, taking your PP outside, guys. The Slayer's Rise Battleground will also have an accessible outdoor section in the Voidstorm zone, setting the stage for some epic world PvP. It is designed with points of conflict throughout that include locations with PvP vendors and more. And I'm going to get more into what these locations are and how this whole thing's going to play out. But essentially, you're going to have a dynamic PvP map throughout the entire area. So you got this going on. You also got the entire the world event going on in this as well. What is it? The capture points. So we have the Stormarian Assaults, don't forget that. So this is a non-PvP thing going on, but still an open world thing going on. It's an event, in fact, where you'll be defending a point. So this is a point defense game that people will be playing. This one's cross-faction, but it'll be happening out in the open world as well. So you got the Stormarian Assault going on. You got this open world PvP going on, and this open world PvP will be dynamically moving. First of all, you'll have a Horde Keep located, Horde faction NPCs, guards, and local stories. You have an Alliance Keep, and then you have a neutral PvP hub and dueling arena. Now, this PvP, Blizzard spoke to it previously, talking about what this world PvP is going to entail. They said instead of having a bit of PvP in each zone like the War Within, we want to develop an outdoor PvP in Midnight that is focused on the open world PvP arena in the Voidstorm. While not set in stone, the team is open to continuing to improve this PvP area in the Voidstorm for future patches if the community enjoys it. So they're going to take a look at this, see how much people are playing, and if people are really taking this up, it looks like they're going to make almost like seasonal content out of this world PvP, which I would love to see. A dynamic PvP open in the world that's dynamically changing as the seasons advance. This looks like it'll be pretty good. It's like Asheran. Yes, it does sound a lot like Asheran, I agree. A lot more players with more mode on, hopefully. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, because I would love to see this zone really take on a life of its own when it comes to this stuff. The entrance to the Voidscar Arena dungeon is located in Slayer's Rise, and then obviously Prey System and all that stuff they talked about here, but we're really focused on the PvP stuff here. So what does this mean? Prepare your eyes, by the way. There's no dark mode on this site. I'm sorry. I tried my best, but I cannot get a dark mode for it. So, yeah, gooners and degenerates in your basements, beware. This is a bright-ass screen. But here we go. The Voidstorm, a new paradigm and open world conflict. So Blizzard introducing a world PvP hub here in Voidstorm, as we mentioned earlier. And what this is going to be is a dynamically moving capture point mode in the game. So there's going to be these void rifts that randomly appear throughout the zone as your primary objective. Controlling the rifts will grant you benefits to controlling for the controlling faction, including resource generation and access to powerful buffs. You'll also have other dynamic control points. Unlike the static capture points, Voidstorm's control points shift location and importance based on the rift activity. This necessitates constant adaptation and strategic repositioning. And there will actually be more than one of these points open at a time. So what's crazy about them is some of them will be more important than others. So whether your faction decides to go all in on the most important point or try to capture the smaller ones, there'll be some coordination required for some of this to really be able to win this world PvP match. Faction-based objectives, while open to all, the Voidstorm heavily favors controlling coordinated faction play. Objectives are designed to reward teamwork and strategic control. Voidstorm resources, you'll be gathering Void Stones for essentially powering up faction-specific abilities within the zone. These resources are contested and require dedicated efforts to secure. And then you have the Anomaly, finally, a powerful neutral creature that spawns periodically. Defeating the Anomaly grants a significant advantage to the winning faction, frequently enough triggering a surge in Rift activity. The dynamic surroundings encourages constant engagement and discourages static camping, fostering a more fluid and engaging world PvP experience. So Blizzard's really trying something new with this. They got a dynamically moving map, dynamically moving capture points, a boss that randomly spawns. A lot of stuff will be going on in this zone. I really hope, for one, the server tech can handle it, because between you got the tower defense mode that's going on, the non-PvP thing happening in the open world, plus this world PvP, plus people questing around, this is going to be a very active zone. We'll see how the server lag handles this thing, but this is going to be some interesting shit for sure. For strategy on this, coordination is key. Utilizing group finder tools, guild channels, voice dialogue to organize raids and rifts to defend key resource nodes. Faction coordination is paramount. Resource control, prioritizing securing Voidstone nodes. A steady supply of resources allows consistent use of faction-specific abilities, providing a significant edge in combat. And then you got mobility and awareness, the dynamic nature of the zone. Rift prioritization, as I mentioned before, not all rifts are created equal. Focusing on controlling the rifts that offer the most strategic advantage, such as those near resource nodes and checkpoints, will be important. And then finally here, utilizing zone buffs. The Voidstorm offers unique buffs to players within the zone. Understanding and leveraging these buffs can substantially enhance your combat effectiveness. So, as I said before, the dynamicness of all this, it seems very interesting to me. Unlike, a Wintergrass or something was very static, you had a tower or base that you wanted to control. This shit's going to be moving around all the time. I have a rift in me, yeah. We're going through a big one. Yeah, the Devil's Anus. What are you even talking about, Clarmedia? There are words on the bright light. Yeah. Ashran was good in the first patch. It was good in the first patch. And I think Blizzard's going to look at how people dynamically interact with this. If they continue to interact, maybe this will be only a first patch thing. Maybe it'll continue forward if people actually participate in it. There are going to be class roles that help you out in this thing. For tanks, it's essential for holding risks, protecting resource gatherers. Healers obviously will be crucial for sustaining prolonged engagement with the opposing faction. Damage dealers, obviously important for killing the other faction. And then control classes. Classes with strong crowd control abilities like mages, warlocks, and priests can disrupt enemy formations and create opportunities for coordinated attacks. So I don't think I'm underselling this, guys, when I say that this zone, to me, is going to be exciting. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to hopefully revitalize World PvP. It's been something that I've wanted in the game for a long time, bringing back World PvP in a meaningful way. Blizzard's giving it a shot. We got an open World PvP. We got a 40v40 battleground coming out of this. We got a tower defense mode coming out of this zone as well. So a lot going on in this zone, a lot of dynamic stuff. By the way, this World PvP will also offer specific rewards to this PvP. We're talking about transmog, we're talking about specific gear slots and everything else. So there will be rewards to be had from this winning the World PvP, whatever winning is classified as. But it should be exciting, should be fun. I'm excited for Voidstorm. I don't think enough people are talking about this, and that's why I wanted to bring it up today. But for now, that is all in terms of news.